Right, make Republic TV your #1 election destination this season. But the big story today, the Prime Minister is all set to board a seaplane from the Sabarmati riverfront at around 9:30 a.m. this morning, and then he will be flying to the Dharoi Dam, land on a pond there, and from there travel by road to the Ambaji temple. He'll offer prayers there. In fact, he tweeted earlier saying that this is the first time that a seaplane would be used in India. We are trying to promote tourism, and this will be a spectacle for people on the ground as well. Let me go across to our reporters, Payal, Priyanka, joining us. Priyanka, first to you, give us a sense of where you are. I'm sure security has been increased in Sabarmati, but how is this being seen? This is a mega push by the Prime Minister and the government at a time when the Congress is saying that the entire discourse in this election is only about rhetoric. It's only about this Pakistan Congress secret meeting. It's only about the niche remark, and there is no mention of the word development. So is this like a mega strategy by the government, the Prime Minister, to turn the discourse around?
Well, yes, Parikshit, that's what it seems like. Because if I could just give you, we're actually just a few minutes away from Dharoi Dam, and that's where the Prime Minister will be landing from Sabarmati river, where he will be taking off from. And of course, he's going to be doing a lot of by road travel in and around the Ambaji temple, where he will also be meeting with a lot of people. So what you said is very correct, because in the middle of all these rhetorics, in the middle of all these attacks from the Congress and we both about this entire Pakistan meet and this entire niche comment, this entire other issues that have been going on, but nothing being talked about development for quite some time. In the middle of all of that, the Prime Minister making this entire visit and talking about how this is to promote tourism, and that this is something that is been done for the first time in India. So of course this is a big push by the Prime Minister, big push by the BJP, saying in the middle of all of these rhetorics, in the middle of all of these comments of Pakistan, this being brought in again, and to make the plank, to fight this elections again on the plank of development.
Right, I think we're having some problem with that feed, Priyanka, but you got us a very good update from the ground. I'll go across to Payal now. Payal, give us a sense of where you're standing. 9:30 a.m. Another half an hour from now, the Prime Minister would take off from the Sabarmati riverfront, and this is their strategy after the Ahmedabad roadshow was cancelled.
Well, of course, yes, the Prime Minister, Parikshit, in a bit from now will be leaving from Ahmedabad. I am en route to the Ambaji temple. You know, I'm about 65 to 70 kilometers away from there. Now, this is the place where the Prime Minister will be coming for doing this darshan. For all those people who've tracked and known Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a long time, they do understand that this particular temple holds a lot of significance for him. People say that he turns extremely emotional when he comes to this temple. He holds it in very high reverence. So at about 11 o'clock is when we are told that when the Prime Minister will be coming here, he'll be performing pujas over here, he'll be doing darshan. It's a very interesting day today, you know, while the Prime Minister, whose roadshow has been cancelled in Ahmedabad, chose to do this. Rahul Gandhi is not too way behind. We're told at 10 o'clock in the morning, Rahul Gandhi will be visiting the Jagannath temple in Ahmedabad. So it looks like that the temple, sort of run is going to be crucial on the last day of the Gujarat elections. We're talking about the last day of campaigning for the second phase. It's going to be crucial. There's a lot of activities that have been planned. The Prime Minister spoke about promoting tourism, spoke about promoting different ways. He will in fact be leaving from Sabarmati riverfront. Then of course he'll go to the dam where Priyanka is going to be tracking his movements, and then he'll come to this temple, and after which he will go back to the Sabarmati riverfront again. So that's how the day is really panned out.
Okay,
it's all the entire.
I'll leave it there for the moment. I'll request you stay with us. I'll go across to Deepti Sachdeva. Deepti, I believe you are there at the Sabarmati riverfront. In a short while, the Prime Minister will take off from here. Are you able to see the seaplane right now? It must be quite a spectacle for people on the ground.
No, not yet. We can't see the seaplane now. But you know, Parikshit, we'll move our cameras to actually give you a sense of where we are standing. It's a long stretch. I'm reporting from one of the vantage points, and our colleague Abhishek, remember, is across the Sardar Bridge. The Sardar Bridge that Aman will just, in fact, move his cameras to give you a sense of where it is. It's across this bridge that you see there on your screens. Let's come back to this, scene here. We'd seen this entire stretch being cleaned earlier. There's a lot of police deployment as is expected. So yes, the bandobast and all is happening. The SPGs here, the local crime branch, the local Gujarat police, everyone's been sanitizing the entire area. 9:30, remember, is when a plane will land here, as you know, we heard from the Prime Minister, and he said, I will be on that seaplane. He'll go to the Dharoi Dam from here and then offer prayers at the Ambaji temple. And Parikshit, look at, such a message that this entire tweet, the entire message from the Prime Minister coming in, because he's not just showcasing development, the same development that has been questioned on a number of accounts, particularly now by the Congress President Rahul Gandhi and the likes of a lot of other opposition parties when they ask that where is Vikas, to which the Prime Minister says, who Vikas chu, who chu Gujarat. So this, number one, is not just that showcase of that development when you will see the Prime Minister in that seaplane, and he also, importantly says that there will be 106 such waterways that have been planned, because there are places where you cannot build airports. So he says that I want to put my focus on waterways, and if this is not development, Parikshit, what is? The other factor, remember, from here when he goes to the Dharoi Dam, then he goes to the Ambaji temple, he's touching North Gujarat. North Gujarat again is voting on the 14th. So that is another significant aspect of the Prime Minister's visit. And as Payal mentioned, remember, you have the Prime Minister visiting the Ambaji temple, to which now Rahul Gandhi is willing to respond by taking a temple visit too. So that is where it's all boiling, down to. One step of the Prime Minister versus one step by Rahul Gandhi. It's got to be an exciting day, as far as this big Gujarat campaign is concerned. That is going to be ending at 5 this evening. Rahul Gandhi also later holding that press conference. But will he be talking about the seaplane? Will he be talking about development? I'm not too sure. But a lot of, common citizens here are invited. This is the stage where later the Prime Minister will be at 2:30 when he finishes this entire journey via the seaplane, and when he reaches back here on the river front. This is where, a few people are also invited. So, for now, yes, all eyes on that event that starts at 9:30. I just see a lot of action here. If Aman can again go back to these visuals here. This is exactly from where the Prime Minister will be landing on that seaplane and moving on then to the Dharoi Dam.
Okay. All right, those are great pictures that you're getting us, Deepthi. Stay with us as you get us more updates. I'll also go across to Abhishek Kapura, Executive Editor. Abhishek, for the last couple of months, in fact, probably for the last 1 or 1.5 years, Nitin Gadkari has been working on this concept of getting seaplanes to India to promote tourism. The fact that this is being launched from Gujarat and the Prime Minister is sending out this message that we are beginning this concept from the Sabarmati riverfront to promote tourism, and very soon we'll have 106 such waterways across the country. So what is a larger message, especially ahead of the Gujarat campaign?
Parikshit, don't forget, the larger message remains political. The fact is that in whichever manner the campaign began, it meandered its way into a kind of a slugfest that could have been avoided from 2002 to Pakistan to, temple hopping, anything but development. So if this initiative is taking shape, and the Prime Minister is taking this seaplane to Dharoi and then onwards to Ambaji, and it's essentially a political message, because the BJP and Prime Minister were questioned about their development model and whether any development has taken place in Gujarat, and that people of Gujarat have been taken for a ride. And so with this step, the narrative is being brought firmly in the development domain. This is the showcase project of Prime Minister from his Chief Minister days. Sabarmati used to be an open gutter before this riverfront took shape, and it essentially carried sewage of Ahmedabad into the Gulf of Cambay. And since the coming of Narmada waters, it's become a perennial river in a stretch of about 8 kilometers within the city limits, city municipal limits. And with both sides, the promenades, walkways, entertainment zones, exhibition zones, education zones. It's a one of its kind project, infrastructure projects in the country. It's a revenue neutral project where all the money that was put into it has been recovered by the municipal corporation. So in many ways, it's a development a showcase project. And Prime Minister using this to inaugurate the Seaplane ride. We don't know as yet the details as to when it would be operated for people as well, for the larger public, but it's a political message that the Prime Minister is sending, that irrespective of where the narrative or the campaign meandered, the basic palimpsest remains development, and this is what he has delivered to people. So he is in a way reminding on the last day of campaign that development is what should guide the people's choice in their mandate on December 14th.
Right. So this is the Prime Minister and the government's way, Abhishek, as you very rightly put it, to bring the discourse back on development, and on the last day to drive home this point that the BJP is interested in bringing development to the people of Gujarat and development alone. Let me go back to Deepti Sachdeva, who's been getting us those pictures from the ground as well. Deepti, he takes off from the Sabarmati riverfront. There are about 21 constituencies in Ahmedabad, 21 assembly constituencies. So when he flies from Sabarmati to the Dharoi Dam and goes towards the Ambaji temple and then travels back, how many assembly constituencies would he be really covering? How many kilometers would the Prime Minister be really covering? Because this is a visual treat in a way that the government thinks will be for the people of Gujarat. A lot of people will be watching it along the way. So how much distance will the Prime Minister cover? How many constituencies will they cover this way?
See, Parikshit, if you travel from Ahmedabad to the Ambaji temple, where our colleague Payal is en route to, the entire distance is 150 kilometers by road. But interestingly, when the Prime Minister, remember, is going to be taking this entire journey, and again, I'll request our video journalist Aman to stay with these visuals, because this is where a lot of action is expected in the next few minutes. Look at this. The Ambaji temple is the Banaskantha district. The Dharoi Dam is in the Mehsana district. They are both part of the North Gujarat area, where again the Prime Minister is sending a message, because look at the symbols, you know, on a seaplane. He lands at a pond near the Dharoi temple, then he goes to the Ambaji temple. So there's a lot of significance, because these are all symbols, as Abhishek rightly pointed out, Parikshit, of development, of progress, of the same Vikas, the same Gujarat model that the Prime Minister really has been able to showcase so very well. We would also recall that during the 2014 campaigning, again this Gujarat Vikas model was so much talked about, Parikshit. The reason why today you meet an ordinary Gujarati, he takes a lot of pride in the fact that a son of the soil, Gujarat ka dikra is what they say, कि Gujarat ka dikra Pradhan Mantri ban gaya hai Vikas ki wajah se. So yes, Vikas, remember, comes in that entire discourse. The reason again why the Prime Minister is shifting the discourse back on development, that is again important. He's talking about development, and also, if I can just take a moment to remember what we heard earlier from Arun Jaitley, the Finance Minister, Parikshit, when you have this temple hopping spree of Rahul Gandhi. He said, when you have a real Hindu, why go after a copycat Hindu? So look at this. The Prime Minister also wanting to conclude this entire campaign when he is going to be at the Ambaji temple.